Hello and welcome back to another speed build, and I'm really excited because this is the first build I've done within Island Living, or my only build at this point. And I know it's not one of the overwater ones, which I think most people kind of decided to do first, but I just liked this little lot here on the side that's called Tangled Flats, and I thought I would do one here, and then of course there'll be some overwater ones later, but yeah, I just wanted to do a house that had two separate living areas for two different sims, but with a shared laundry in the middle of it. Because lately with my gameplay, I seem to be playing it that way. Like, instead of a family, I'll have two sims going about their own business, living in separate apartments. But I didn't really want this to be an apartment, just more like, kind of looks like a normal house, but it's separated. So yes, I tried to use as many items from Island Living as I could, and this pack has a lot of great build and buy items, and the world looks absolutely beautiful, so that I love. There's not so much happening in the gameplay, I don't think, which I think everyone is saying basically. Like, when you first start it, you don't quite notice, but then you play for a little while and you kind of run out of things to do pretty fast. So yeah, I made a mermaid because they're quite cool. They're very nice and creative sim. But yeah, I think a lot of people were saying it should have been like the vampire system, so you could gain different skills and just have a bit more depth to it. Like, the sim just kind of becomes a mermaid and that's it. And I had a mermaid sim on this lot, and she kept just running off down into the ocean, which is kind of a bit far away from this particular lot, and then she'd be like swimming around and never come back unless I like directed her to come back. So I don't know if that's just this lot. Like, if you have a mermaid sim who's closer to the ocean, do they automatically then go back to their home, or do they just stay there forever? I don't know. But yes, the left side of this has a slightly bigger kitchen area and bedroom, and the bedroom upstairs also has a bathroom, whereas the right side one only has a bathroom downstairs in the main living area. So yes. This is also next to the kind of gathering area for the town, so they'll have they'll bring food there. I think it's like a hot pot type thing, and your sims can go join them, but you just kind of talk with them and not too much else, I don't think. And I think a lot of players don't really know when the events around this town are happening, because it doesn't notify you like it does for the city living ones. And I actually found out there was a mod for it, which I'll link below if I remember, and it alerts you in the top right hand corner when any of the events on this island are happening. And it's kind of a good way to learn about them when you're first in this world, because otherwise you don't really have a clue what's going on. Like, I tend to stay on my home lot most of the time. Like, I'll explore a little, but I'm probably not going to come across one of these events when they're happening, you know? So yes, I just also made sure there was plenty of balcony space here, which I put the lounging chairs in for sunbathing and just relaxing. So that's nice. And I add a little pool at the front. Originally, I was thinking it should be like a gated off pool in the background for privacy, but then I thought the kind of idea of this whole world is that everyone kind of knows each other and you're really friendly with your neighbours. So I thought just out front where everyone can see you in the pool is probably better for this world. Your neighbours come over and join and hang out type of a thing. So yeah, I also put two lounging chairs by the pool eventually. We also had all the new items come in for the new debug cheat. So I think it was like over 1,000 items that they added, which you can now place. Like, I think the sims walk through them, which is the only thing, but it doesn't really matter too much. So there's like lots of cool trees and plants that we didn't have access to putting onto our lots before. So I've added a couple of them there, that you can see around the rest of this particular town area. But anyway, just away from this build for a second, tomorrow they have the Moschino stuff pack being released, and I watched the trailer and the live stream where the Sim Gurus kind of showed some of the gameplay of it just this past weekend. And originally I wasn't thinking I would like this pack, but after seeing the trailer and how many things are coming in it, I think it's going to be something I actually quite like and will use a lot in my game. Just all the Creator Sim items, they're quite out there, but there's some really nice pieces as well as like lots of furniture. Like there's some cool loft style windows, and then new couches and clothing racks, as well as they've like overdone the whole photography system within the game. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And I recently did kind of like a update to the Fashion District build I did, where I redid the kind of stylist studio there. I'm thinking once this pack comes out, I'm probably gonna redo that again with all the new items and make a kind of Moschino pop-up store within that lot. I also think it would be fun to do a penthouse build in the art district, using those new kind of loft windows and having like the first whole floor as a photography studio and possibly like an art gallery of that Sims work, and maybe a little cafe station with coffee and whatnot, and then heading upstairs would be the actual house living area for that Sim. Yeah, so lots of ideas with this new pack, even though it's just a stuff pack, so there's not really as much, which is kind of weird. I think I'm more excited to do builds and inspired more by this stuff pack that's coming out compared to Island Living. I don't know. What would have been really cool is if they had included modeling within this stuff pack. It's because I like doing the fashion shows and that kind of thing, so I guess you can still kind of make up those stories, but I don't know, it would have been neat if that had also been a part of the pack. But back to the build, I'm just adding in a little table area for the Sims to eat in this kitchen, and this kitchen's a fair bit larger than the one on the other side. But I tried to add not too many clutter items, but enough that it seems like a Sim or some families are living here. Sometimes I don't want to go overboard with the clutter items, because then it might feel too personal for when others are placing their families in these lots, if that kind of makes sense. So sometimes I kind of furnish it more for the gallery, and then as I play with my Sim families, I then kind of personalize it more. So for the side of the house, I ended up having a toddler move in, or not move in, but a Sim have a toddler, so I added all like the kids items and photos and stuff like that afterwards. But yeah, apart from Sims, not too much has been going on, apart from I injured my neck, and Matt, if you're listening to this, I know it drives you crazy because I'm always going on about it, so you can mute the next couple minutes. But yeah, I guess at the gym like a month ago, I think it was the squat rack or some sort of upper body exercise I was doing, and it just stressed out my neck too much, so it's been really tense and quite sore along with my back, so I ended up seeing a physio, and I'm going to see her like a couple times a week, and she's given me exercises that I'm having to do like 3 times a day, or one of them's every single hour. So I think it's slowly getting better, but it's been like especially sore these last couple days, so it's kind of annoying. But I'm always having to remind myself to like push my shoulders back and keep doing the exercises, because she thinks it was a combination of just like doing something at the gym, just one exercise with the wrong form or something, plus sitting at a desk working 9+ hours a day, because it's not very good for your posture when you're always kind of hunched over at your desk. I try not to be hunched over, but it sometimes happens. Also, I've got a standing desk at work, so I'm trying to use that more often rather than just be sitting all day. But yeah, even though it was being really annoying, I actually had a really nice weekend. It's been pretty cold and like gross winter weather. There was actually quite a lot of thunderstorms and lightning over the weekend, but we managed to catch a break like Sunday morning. So Matt and I went to a bird sanctuary that's not too far from here, and we got a pamphlet of all the birds that we might see along the walk, and I think we saw maybe half of them that were on the pamphlet, which I was surprised by because I think maybe like last time I went, it was a really long time ago, so I can't actually remember that well, but I don't think I really saw too much on the walk. But yeah, we saw a lot of neat birds and managed to do the whole walk before it started raining again. And that night went over to my friend's place and we all played Overcooked on the PlayStation. Matt and I had played it with his old flatmate before and had done quite a lot of levels. But yeah, when you start playing the levels with like a new group of people, you really need to start like figuring out what roles everyone's going to play, because if you don't know the game, you get given something you're supposed to cook, and so everyone needs to go around and do their own job, whether it's putting like burgers or fish and chips together, like cooking the meat or cleaning the dishes and getting the food out. I don't know, it's just kind of a fun little multiplayer game. But since we all hadn't played together, we had to like start giving everyone roles, and I think we got a bit better towards the end, but I think we need to try it out again so we can improve further. And then we also did a hot pot for dinner, and yeah, it was a good weekend. So here, just placing the final pieces of furniture. I wanted to make sure to have lots of balcony space just to get the most of the sun, and also put some activities around. So we've got the pool, the yoga mat, a drink area out there, and yeah, that was pretty much it. I think I quite like how it turned out, just a cute little villa. And yeah, there'll be some more Moschino related builds coming out soon. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!